Failures, first of all, happened because the key metrics of finance, marketing, and sustainability, I had no clue about them. So, as long as you're a brand, you can come up like anything as you wish. But till the time you're not a brand, people should know that this place is meant to have food. This place is meant to have beverages. This place is meant to have lunch and dinner. Appealing to masses is not always right. You can appeal to masses, people can talk about you, but they might not become your customers.
Hello everyone, I am Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Pepec Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Mr. Ajay Singh. He started his career as a restaurateur in 2009 by the name Sheikh Chilli in Palam Vihar, which did not work well, and he had to close this within 16 months. Then he worked for 7 months in a call center and saved some money to start his another venture into the corporate kitchen, and they were offering lunch services to corporates. This business also could not survive long as the large portion of the business was on credit for more than 45 to 60 days. After closing this business, he joined his cousin as a partner in the restaurant called DD6, which also failed as they took money on loan which they were not able to pay as EMI. The reason was the income was less as compared to the loan outstandings. So this also failed, and they closed this business as well. With all these learnings and failures, he left the idea of starting his own business for a while, and he started working on supporting others to start their restaurant business or set up restaurant for them. Also started a job side by side in sales in 2015, that too in hotel industry, and continued till COVID. Then again he tried his hands at starting another venture with the name Kissanation, wherein they were delivering vegetables to household. This also could not pick well. Then again he started working as a project manager with few wedding planners and worked with them for 1.5 years. Recently he started new venture with the name as Jiara for cloud kitchen business. Now he is full-fledged working on this venture. So today he will be sharing his life journey with us. So let us hear from him. Welcome Ajay, the platform is open, and now over to you.
Thank you, Jitendra ji. It was a lovely introduction. I just felt like this was like whole life being rewinded in front of me. Hearing it from you, I guess this was quite a detailed description. So yes, this has been pretty much my journey right after college, being high in my head, thinking of opening a business rather than working somewhere and gaining experience. Yeah, yes, technically it was a mistake. Without understanding how the business metrics work, how the marketing is very much important, how to establish yourself in the market is important. Not just knowing how to cook good food or how to fusion food or how to get something new to the people is important, but that is important for being a good chef. But to run a restaurant, to understand that business metrics, the market, how it works, what attracts people, how to understand that portion of it, I should have worked some time with some people that could have, avoided this mistake. But I was maybe ignorant, or you can say already I had maybe, thought of myself that because I belong from Old Delhi. So Old Delhi, all of these things which I just spoke of, how markets work and how everything does and how do you price yourself and everything, everything fails in Old Delhi. People are selling what they want to sell at whatever price they have to sell. If it clicks with the people, and they have been selling it there for like generations. There are outlets in Old Delhi wherein fifth, sixth or fourth generations are working on those outlets, and they're still doing business which can give any new brand a run for their money in terms of the quantity, the amount of money they make every day, and obviously the quality which has been in terms of recipes passed down from one generation to another. So I came from that background. background. So I was like, I also have that recipe which has been passed on in our family from one generation to another. And why not just explore it? Why not give it to the people in the form they know it? And let's try to make some business out of this. So
Great.
that was my thought process. That was my, you can say, the roadblock. Not understanding that you're not in Old Delhi now, you are in Gurgaon. Gurgaon is a different market altogether. Gurgaon has seen development, very drastic development in terms of corporates coming to the city. In the Gurgaon city became city because the corporates came in, the multinationals put in money, the CSR initiatives which gave people jobs, like old Gurgaon people, the people who were, you can say, the core residents of Gurgaon, who belong to Gurgaon from forever. Since forever, so unke liye, they got jobs and they established their businesses in construction, in public tenders and everything, all because of this development. But food was something which was always, very sacrosanct to each person. Let's say there are people who belong to Kolkata, or they belong to Odisha, or they belong to southern part of India, the Deccan India. So if I go to any of these places and I eat anything, so I would be like, okay, maybe this thing is being prepared like this in this region of the country,
Correct.
and I have to eat whether I like it or not. And if I like it, I'll go there and have it again. But I couldn't maybe strike that, come again quotient with them, and I didn't had that much fallback business or repeat business. Plus, I always lacked in terms of how to market myself. So
Right.
that's a different that's a part that we can come to later.
Yes,
So
yes.
this went on for like 16 months. A sewage digging came up from Palam Vihar to Dhankot, and one of the sewage pipes coming from Dharam Colony to Palam Vihar, got cracked. The
Right.
thing got water. There was only one road to go to Najafgarh because Bijwasan flyover was in construction. So every outlet on that road got shut down. So only Sheikh Chilli was surviving because Ajay Singh was working in a call center in the night and getting salary. So that used to pay off the rent, and whatever sales we could make during the day, that was helping me to get off with the salaries. So
Right.
continued that way also for a good 6-8 months.
So we
But
will we will come back to this again. But before that, I'd like to know from you is what thoughts you were having when you were growing in terms of like if I ask you, so you would be having certain thoughts that you want to be certain type of person, or you want to follow certain form of career. What was that, and what you are doing now? So how different is that from your thoughts which you were having earlier?
my thoughts were, fueled by people around me. People around me were my friends, relatives, my well-wishers, and they always said that you have a knack of making that good food, and once people will try it, you will get more demand, and the demand would be something that you might not be ready for. So just keep this in mind that you have to, you would have to serve a lot of demand. So initial thought was to establish this first outlet, and then start on with the chain of outlets in multiple places.
Right. So
This,
when you
this
were a kid, you always want to start your own restaurant business.
Yes. Not as a kid. Oh, so okay. As a kid, I was like most distracted person. One day I want to be a pilot. One day I want to be an engineer. One day I want to be a doctor. Finally, I was like, I want to go in the army, but nothing worked out. So this was like something which was very close to my heart and couldn't ever see it very closely.
Correct.
They say that do what gives you happiness. So
Right.
cooking meal gives me that happiness,
Right.
and
So
being a creator of that meal,
great.
that achievement of doing it very perfectly. So that used to be my fuel. So that made me think if I
You
know
did
this.
your graduation in this food industry or something like that, or that was
Yes.
kind of entirely a different experience?
No, no, that was hotel management only.
Okay,
So yeah, so by 12th, I think like I told you, I was a very distracted person, or adolescent or a teenager. So I did my head banging in everything I could, being pilot, being going in army, going in being a doctor, being an engineer. I took science as well to, so that I don't miss any of these opportunities which I have, these priorities, I would say, these 5 7 priorities of careers that I already chose. So but I had to maybe get this calling done from a career counselor. So when we were children, we used to see Usha Albeck, newsreader, very renowned newsreader in English. So she started with this offering of giving children or teenagers career counseling based on some metrics related to questions, not actually about career or how they score in their subjects, but it was more about, dwelling in their character, their personality, their likings, their dislikings, what is their behavior, what is their and she did very well, that was like a little wake up call for me, and that's when I thought that it's not the marks, it's not the outer lookout of the world that should decide that who you should be. Like, I know there are perception games. A person from army is gets some reputation, and that respect that is unmatched if you're in defense forces. So that respect was my calling for defense forces. That adrenaline rush of, flying those jets was my, thing that I should be a pilot or so. But everything, all of these things are like outer, like they could be your fifth or sixth shell to yourself. There are many shells within that. Where is your comfort zone? Where you find your comfort zone, where you find your wherein you are like in, you can say, be with yourself, without any, judgment from other people, that we should respect him because he's from armed forces, or we should respect him because he's a doctor, or we should respect him for being a marvelous engineer, for building these marvelous things. So I thought maybe I become one of these, and I might not perform that well. So that is a bigger problem once you get into the perception game, and then you don't perform well. So that's a bigger problem. So then you have to, time and again come on to the people's expectations every time they think that should be at the top of the level. So one thing that I can do in my zone, and I can every time be on top of the level, is cooking. I can prepare a meal, and I can do it in a way that that will not only bring smile, but that opulence in me, smile on
right,
the my face, your face, maybe if you're eating with me,
correct.
and opulence in that atmosphere, that gratitude. So I thought that I should stick to this. That was the way I, like, being in science, went to,
Hotel
started
management.
giving. Yes, so I gave a lot of entrance exams for Manipal, for IHM, for Banarsi, for IIP University. I got into IHM as well, but the IHM I was getting was in Chennai. So I had an option to do IHM from Banarsi Das, Chandiwal, and Kalkaji. So at that point of time, it used to rank sixth in India. So I thought, if I'm getting something which is like in top 10, so why not go for it?
Wonderful.
So
So there your
yeah.
journey started. So on to it
Yes.
further, you mentioned about your first business. So I'd like to know more onto your work and experiences, what all you did so far.
So, like we spoke earlier, I started with Sheikh Chilli. Sheikh Chilli survived for 16 months. In those 16 months, I was working with a call center called Intelinet as well to support Sheikh Chilli. Then I left Intelinet as well because I thought the reason for doing this job was to support Sheikh Chilli. If Sheikh Chilli is no more there, I should think of some other venture and think of doing something else. So I thought people came across who guided me to work with in a business model wherein sales is guaranteed. So I thought of getting into corporate catering, and I came up with a brand called Purple Plate. I knew that I have to do this now. So to get some funds for it, I again joined a BPO. It's still there in Sector 44. It's by the name. Its name is Midland Credit Management. People also call it Encore Capital. So
Right.
that's a debt collection agency which is working in the US market, where they collect debts, bad debts actually. And so I worked there for like 5 months, 5 or 6 months, got enough money to start my thing, and started with it. Got a small place in Ashok Vihar that was like 2000 square feet, good enough to prepare food for 400, 600 people.
Right.
Started my journey there, got the first order from a company, a FinCorp company, where I got an order for 40 people. Then I got another company which was on to 150 people. So till I was working with these 200 people, lunch and dinner, it was okay. But then I got an order for like 400 people and 475 people in two more companies. I'll refrain myself from naming them. So I started working with them. The work was very good, but within 3 months, I was like cash strapped. They work on a credit limit of 30 days, which sometimes stretches to 45 days. Now, the amount of money which was going into the food for almost 1,000 people daily is very huge.
Right.
And the money I was getting for the 200 people wasn't enough to support the salaries and everything. I tried getting a. There was a scheme under the PM, many schemes which under Prime Minister's scheme, where I could have applied for a loan. I tried for that as well, but couldn't get any hands on it. And I had no asset in my name, so banks even wouldn't give me any loan apart from personal loan. And I always deviated from personal loan because personal loan was not something, because I had experienced many bad stories. Okay, personal loans don't come less than 14% interest, and
Right.
the money I was asking, 14% of it was not even the margins I would make from the business that I'm doing. So I had to call it off again. I got those payments, but very late. By the time the damage has already happened. So moved on from there. My cousin came in. He was a retired army major. He still is. So we teamed up. We thought that let's revive something what you were doing already, and I also have a thing to own something now after retirement. So let's start food business only, wherein we would be 50-50 partners, and I would take care of the money flow, and you would take care of the food quality and everything, and I will take care of the marketing as well. So that happened, but like we know, the loan amounts were bigger than the sales and profits and margins that we were doing
Right.
there. Rent alone in 2012 was like 40,000. Like, it has still not increased from that amount. People can still get a good sized outlet in those markets at same price. So with the inflation rising from last 10 years continuously, we were paying very huge amount 10 years ago. So that also couldn't work out. Though I that journey was like of DD6 was like such that people became very loyal fans. They still call me, and now they were again started buying from me.
Right.
So only because of that taste they couldn't find for so many years. And somebody has said, and it is very beautiful, you will get to know of your friends once you start your business, because then you will know how many of your friends become your clients and how many of your clients become your friends. So that was a little, that the people I used to call friends could never become my clients. They
They
would
never do.
often, yeah, हाँ ठीक है, अजय के यहाँ खाना है, कभी उसके घर पे जाके खा लेंगे ना, पैसे क्यों देने हैं?
Correct.
Obviously, few of them obviously always stood by me, rock solid. They still are. I guess they are my strength of pillars, and they would always be. And I would always, try to do the same for them. I would always be a try to be a rock solid support for them whenever they need. So that's how things are. So those people became very good friends. We remain connected throughout through social media, WhatsApp chats. Though we didn't got to meet very often, but yes, we were always aware of what is happening with them and what is happening with me. So that's how I then and after DD6, I thought of that maybe I'm not meant to own a business and run it. Maybe I'm good at what I am doing, but not as a business owner. So got an
Right.
opportunity to work with those clients turned friends to set up their outlets, give them in running condition once they started making profits. And apparently, they were better business people than me. They had better business knack. They had better pricing strategies. They had better marketing strategies, and they did very well. They're still doing. They're still
Correct.
running those outlets.
Correct.
Often need my help. That's like once in 6 months or 4 months. I go to them. I do my job. I come back, and all I have from them is like gratitude. That thank you for being around.
That's
Uh,
really wonderful. And if I talk about things you are passionate about in your life, one I could understand is food. And what about other things?
So I've traveled a lot. I like traveling, and it's not only cooking food. I love to eat different kinds of food. So I once did this like trans India trip, you can say, on my motorcycle. So Telangana was not a separate state then; it was part of Andhra Pradesh. So I did like almost 27 states. It was close to 8,000 kilometers I did on my motorcycle. And that was like almost 2 months of journey, or I would say
Wow.
1 month, 22 or 23 days of journey. That included Northeast as well. That included all of North India. Ladakh was all already on my list that I had. Once I go to Kashmir, I have to do that long road in Ladakh. And yes, south of India, I did like I started once I was like doing Bombay to I went to Madhya Pradesh, then again back to Goa, then from Goa to Gokarna to Karnataka, then from there to Kerala, then Tamil Nadu. I did all India, pan India thing.
Wonderful. So driving a bike for such a long distance and continuously, wasn't that hectic?
Again, something that gives you peace, something that gives you smile. Plus, I had a little GoPro with me, so
Okay.
yeah, so like recording the entire day, and once you have to, just park your bike, the time is to get some sleep, and you're actually very tired. But whatever you've recorded, it doesn't let you sleep. You want to see it. You want to go through what happened, and then you would finally, believe, okay, आज कुछ तो कर लिया है, अब सोते हैं.
Right.
And since I had no income sources, so I would sometimes, okay, I'll give you this trick if you want to apply it sometime. You go to any fancy railway station, you buy first class ticket of any express train, which is like next morning 10-11 a.m. You go to that waiting area, you get good night's sleep in the sleeping bunker, you get a nice clean bathroom to take a shower, to get your daily job, shave, brush, then eat that good meal, which is very cheap, then come out and get that ticket cancelled, and you only are deducted 10 rupees, and in 10 rupees you get to sleep in good air conditioned sleeping bunker with a nice bathroom to wake up to in the morning, with clean and tidy linen. So that was a hack I got to know when I was doing this. Otherwise, I have like slept in temples. I've slept many places. Many in Northeast, my bike and my chain socket got badly covered in mud.
Okay.
So I couldn't push it. So I saw a camp next to me. I thought it's an army camp. I went there. People were also, they all looked like how people Northeast India looks. So I told them that I had this and this issue. My bike got stuck in the mud. It was like 100 feet mud only. There was no road. So they helped me clean the bike. They greased the chain and everything. But by the time it all happened, it was like 10 in the night. And usually people don't wake up that late. So they requested me to sleep with them only. They gave me a tent. I slept there, had a good breakfast meal, then started off it again. Around after 2 or 3 hours, I found another camp. I went there. I asked for a little help if I could, get some water, and maybe if I could make a call back home. My phone wasn't working, so they helped me. Then they asked me, where are you coming from? What is the thing? So I told them that this is the trip I'm doing, Pan India, so and so. And last night I had to stay there. Very nice people. They helped me with the food and tent to sleep into and everything. They told me that you're lucky that you survived. That was a Bodo camp. And so I guess the tussle is between the army and Bodos. I was a
Right,
neutral
right.
person.
So you've
So
been
I
really lucky then.
Yes. So I being a person who's posing no harm to them, they also thought that why to get into another bloodshed. So, but
Correct,
yes,
correct.
no two thought process about it. I was actually lucky.
It was
Uh,
different kind of experience altogether.
yeah.
Wonderful.
The experience got different when the camp people told me that it was a Bodo camp where you spend that night. After then, gave me goosebumps. After then,
Correct. Before that, you were not aware of what exactly that was. You thought that would be army camp kind of a thing. Great. So let's move on to the next one. If I talk
yeah.
about your vision, mission, goal for next 5 to 10 years from now, what is that?
So the things which I didn't knew earlier, I know them now, and I can say that I have a vision which is very clear, not blurred one, and I see myself setting up this outlet very strongly. And after this, we're gonna run multiple brands under from the same kitchen. Plus, we're gonna also visit or establish ourselves in a real market, in a real shop. Apart from like we will keep operating from here, but we will also open one more. And I see myself as a company which is making close to 100 crores a year in revenue from multiple brands, from all the outlets and all the food that we are making. So far, the journey of 6 months has been that people have been very, I can say, people have been very supportive. We processed 1,000 orders in first 2 months only. So I remember doing DD6, which was in Sector 31 market, which has a lot of footfall. And, in a market, in a virtual market where you have no physical presence, to get people's trust and to, time and again deliver on that trust and to build it stronger. So I guess that's what I've learned over the years, and that is what is helping me so far. So that helped me a lot, and we are growing stronger every month. And I don't hope, I clearly see that vision becoming a reality. And yeah, that is all about it so far.
Great, great. And that's really wonderful. Like, we do some mistakes in life and we learn from them. And then we develop a thing which can be sustainable, which can be more broader, more stronger, more bigger. So that is
Yes.
how our experiences count. So
Yes.
wonderful thoughts behind that. So if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your journey, personal and professional, what 2 to 3 learnings you have from that experiences?
If we're talking in the terms wherein this learning should be adapted by a newcomer or a person, see, you have a dream, wonderful, go achieve that dream. Don't leave any stone unturned in achieving that. But count on the experience of the people who have already worked before you and who have spent their lifetime, and try to use that experience, try to get some guidance, find a mentor. I would say find a mentor in this world, which is a rare thing to do, but try to do it. If people don't try to do it, people just try to hustle their way the way they can, but try to find a mentor. If you will try to find a mentor, you might find it. I would say you will definitely find it. And once you get that, because humans have a tendency that they would be smart always, But if somebody is coming to them with folded hands and asking for guidance, they always try to be their best, and they always try to guide and give their experience in the best possible manner. So find a mentor, work relentlessly. As long as you're young, you will have distractions, and you have to go through phases. But think of something that success is like a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of sleepless nights, but all of it is worth it at the end of the day when you get it. And working hard and working smart, like we call it these days, that working hard is okay, but working smart is also very much required. So to work smartly, you need to get those you can say those little secrets, those little hacks, those little like strong hard work is will still not be replaced. If you have to make on your own, if you have to make your own journey, you don't want to work for anybody, you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to work hard. There are no two ways about it. But yes, a little smart work will make your hard work pay off.
Right.
And yes, I would say I did this thing of writing my goals in present tense. And after writing them in present tense, like not writing, I will have a revenue of so and so. I would write, I have a revenue of so and so. And then when once I write it and I see that I'm not reaching there, so the next column was what to do to achieve this. So
Correct.
that helped me a lot. So yes, like work hard, keep counting your blessings, keep counting how where you've reached, keep a tab on what you're doing. And health is something like you can make money again, you can make friends again, you can buy those cars again. If you have not now, you will once definitely have them forever. But health is something, if gone for once, will not come back.
True.
So it's something that you should always focus on. If you're too tied up in your entire day, at least take 30 minutes for yourself and eat healthy. Once in a while, bahar kuch kha lo, it's okay. But eat healthy and look after yourself. As long as your health, your body is able to work every day, there is no dream that big that you can't achieve. So
Right.
just focus on your body, your mental health again. Don't like stay away from negative people, stay away from people who laugh on your dreams, stay away from people who tell you that you're too young to do it. Nobody is too young to do it, and nobody is too old to step out of any journey. So keep going. As long as you are that, आपके अंदर जब तक वो जिद है ना, तब तक आप हो. जिस दिन वो जिद चली गई, उस
Correct.
दिन तो आप किसी भी काम कर लोगे, जैसे जो बताएगा वैसे काम कर लोगे.
That's true. You can start at any age, whether you are young, you are in middle age, you are at old age. There are so many examples of people around the world who have started their businesses, careers at an early age, and they did it great. There are some people who did it in their mid career, mid age. They also did it well, and there are people who did it in the like ending of their journey, towards ending of their journey, later age. So we have so many examples of that also. KFC is one of the brand wherein the owner started his journey after 65 years of age. So there are so many examples. People are doing great, but the most important thing is how you do it, what plans you have, what thoughts you have in your mind. That is important. And you also mentioned about the health, which is really important, because health is a thing which you cannot like work. You have to work simultaneously on your health. Once it is gone, you cannot get it back.
True,
So
true,
that's
true.
why everybody talks about health. Have a good food, have a good sleep, have a good exercise that will help you to stay healthy. And also mental health is also equally important. Don't take much of a stress, tension, anxiety, because that is a thing which burden your brain. So keeping yourself away from that burden is really important, but that could only happen if you have a proper balance of your life, work, and
Like
family.
I could have been burdened of doing a business loss. I could have been burdened of not making it in the first go. I could have been burdened of not doing a very wonderful job. But
Correct.
that wouldn't have taken me anywhere.
True.
Yeah, I might have like 5 or 6 failure stories on my side, but I will have a success story which will be inspiring people around me, inspiring generations to come, and might even inspire, like, I don't know who else. But my success is my business. I would say nobody should have, people can mind their own business. They have no business in, poking their nose in my success and failure and judging me as of where I stand
Correct.
today. That is my business, that is my life. As long as I'm taking care of my health, I'm taking care of my family, I'm making sure that there is food on the table, there is roof on the head, there are clothes to wear, my kids are getting proper education in the best of the schools. So as long as these things are in a line and I'm not making any sacrifices on the lines wherein I'm crossing a limit and not making sure what the family, my dependents are, and how they are being taken care of. So until unless that is being taken care of, and you can follow your dreams as long as you can. एक बार
True.
शाहरुख खान ने की फिलॉसफी तब अच्छी लगती है जब बहुत सारा पैसा आ जाए. तो खाली फिलॉसफी मत पे लो, थोड़ा ध्यान रखो, एक बैलेंस रखो.
करेक्ट. और सारी चीजें जरूरी है लाइफ में. अब एक और चीज है, लाइक people always talk about success stories, they share success stories, and during your business journey also, like if I talk about the corporate lunch you started that business, therein you reached daily run rate of like 1000 plus lunches. That is a really a huge one. Like to achieve that, people take lot of time, but you achieved it in few months. That was kind of a success. But also there were some problem areas which were there in your businesses which did not help you to sustain for a longer period, and your businesses failed. So people share success stories. Today we would be discussing about why those businesses fail and how you are correcting them in now whatever you are doing in your current businesses. So first I'd like to know about the areas of the failure, how it happened, and why those areas like happened in your business.
So, failures first of all happened because the key metrics of finance, marketing, and sustainability, I had no clue about them. Like I told you before, I came from a background wherein anybody would sell at any price point. As long as people are loving it, they would buy from you. So that was my background and that was my thought process. So I was going with that. So how the pricing should be, how the place should look like, and so all of these things I was unaware about. So, if I talk about Shake Chilli, my first venture, people first of all wouldn't know that this is a food outlet. So, as long as you're a brand, you can come up like anything as you wish. But till the time you're not a brand, people should know that this place is meant to have food. This place is meant to have beverages. This place is meant to have lunch and dinner. Whatever is your market, you should always then appealing to masses is not always right. You can appeal to masses, people can talk about you, but they might not become your customers. So if I have 1,000 people in front of me, but only 100 of them who want some snacks on the go, who want something different that they had today, I had to talk about it. Not something कि मैं यानी कि मैं फैमिलीज को भी केटर कर लूंगा, मैं टीनेजर्स को भी केटर कर लूंगा, मैं शाम को पार्टी करने वालों को भी केटर कर लूंगा, मैं जो रोज थाली मंगाते हैं उनको भी केटर कर लूंगा. मैं सबको जब केटर नहीं कर सकता हूँ तो मेरी अपील वैसी मासेस में नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Right.
Then another thing with Sheikh Chilli was not having a proper knowledge of finances, how they should be run, how they should be managed. So that is very important. I know there are very boring subjects when they're taught in school, in colleges, but people should take them very seriously. जो हम बोलते हैं कि ये जो पढ़ा रहे हैं कब काम आएगा, ये यहाँ काम आता है.
Correct. So
Credit to them.
first thing I could understand is the brand name. The name was really unique and wonderful, but the thing is, people could not resonate that brand name with food. That was one problem, right? And second
Exactly.
is, you were not sure which segment you want to target. So target segmenting was also missing there.
No,
And
I
third
was very sure of segment I have to target, but my marketing strategy was not in line.
right. So you have those thoughts in mind, but you could not implement them properly. We can say that.
Yes.
And third
Yes.
was like understanding your niche is another area. And then third portion was understanding about finances. like what is coming in and what is going out. You were missing onto that, like your core
Yes.
expenses in terms of food and whatever you were serving, then salary of staff, rentals. So apart from that, there were also certain expenses which have to be there,
Yes.
like electricity, water, other supplies
Yes.
also. So
Yes.
that is
Yes.
also really important. So these three aspects are really important for any business.
Yes, yes, yes. Then continuing with the same, when I opened Purple Plate, one thing which I was focusing on is was my rent, salary, cost of production, cost of transportation, cost of delivery at the delivery zone. Because it's not like that you bought the food now it will be served automatically. You need to spend something either on people or on machinery or on standardization in some form or the other. Either it's packaging or it's a delivery mechanism or it's a distribution mechanism wherein you have to spend. So that was already calculated. I thought now I have nailed it and I wouldn't fail this time. But I what I couldn't understood was that not every corporate bills every week. There are corporates and the bigger ones, especially the ones which are very strong, the ones which are very solid. They have a reputation in market. They don't bill you every week. They bill you every month, and that cycle may, because of the paperwork, because of people sometimes not being in office, sometimes you're not able to follow up properly because you're single person managing the entire business,
Correct.
can get delayed. So you should have amount of that level. If you're getting into a dealing which will give you a turnover of almost 80 lakhs a month, so you need to have that cash flow as well.
Correct.
Plus, which has a lot of turnover but very little margin. So the margins were as low as 3%, 4%, because this is not something luxury. Corporate catering is very basic. They need basic food for which they will not spend anything exorbitant. They would spend, which is not very low as well, because they have to maintain some standard, but they will not also spend very exorbitantly on that.
Correct.
So this is the food which they have to offer to their employees as a part of the contract, and that should be good so that their nutrition, they are well fed, they're not hungry, and they don't feel any side effects after having that food. So
Correct.
all of this thing should be there, and the price should be optimum. It shouldn't be at a range wherein it is either making a dent in their pocket or it is coming at too cheap wherein they're just feeding them anything.
Right.
So that thing, that was a mistake I did. Had I had a sponsor, or I could have timely given some stake to somebody in exchange of some money, I could have survived that business.
Right.
But
So in this business, I could realize is there were two mistakes. One was understanding about the payment cycle.
yes,
So you were clear about your finances this time, but the problem arises on the part of the payment cycle. And second thing here was corporates opt for food which is normal priced. That is not too
yes,
pricey, not
yes,
too cheap, and they
yes,
also require quality and quantity also. So therein the
yes,
margins are low as compared to the restaurant or food outlets you have.
exactly.
So the margins are low and the payment cycle was lengthy. So that was the payment gap actually, which resulted into losses or failure maybe.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Next venture, DD6, was, I would say, it was a blunder by two people, me and my cousin both. So he had very high hopes about, this brand making it big in Gurgaon with the kind of taste and everything. So he, I guess, misinterpreted when he got the loan. So the loan of was taken by four different banks, and the collective amount had almost like one fifth of each loan's amount to be given from the next month. So I'll give you exact timeline. So the loan was done in September, and we started off with the outlet in December. So by December, we had, by giving one fifth of the loan amount every month. So we had already given the loan amount. Now the interest was left for another year because it was a personal loan.
Right.
This was a decision, personal loan taking for a business, that too from four different banks. and starting off your business with a gap of almost 3-4 months, wherein you've already paid most of the amount, and you're still left to do your first round of financial month. So that was the issue. So when we started in the December, it hit it off really well. The sales were good. If we talk about 2012, doing a sale of 20 to 25,000 every day is not at all bad sales. They're very good sales. But on the back end, when somebody like these four banks are asking you for money, and you have to arrange for it every month. Like either I take it from somebody else on some more interest, then to give that person back, now I'm taking from some other person. Now to give that person, I'm taking from a fourth person, fifth person, sixth person. So by the end of 6 months, I had like 25 odd people and four banks looking out for their money. So that was the thing. It hit off really well. And that is where I made those friends I was telling you about, who were like customers and then became friends. And yeah, so that was the mistake of again. So I can give you specifically 2 points here. When you're working with a partner, when you're choosing your business partner, because they would be supporting you financially, please get into the details of how that money is coming in.
Right.
Is that money coming from his like own personal savings? Is that money coming in from a capitalist investing your company, or is that money coming in from a loan, which is a very bad thing?
Correct.
Loan is not a bad thing to start off a business, but not knowing from where that money is coming and then starting off with a business is a bad thing. You should be clear of what you have to do. Had I known from start that this loan money is being taken, because I was like, my cousin has like worked 7 years in the army, this and that. यहाँ से किराया आता है, ये होता है, वो होता है. So he must have this much of money with himself to start with business, and he's looking for a partner to maintain some quality and do the production of handle operations. So he's deeming me fit for this role. So again, whenever you start a business, whether it's your brother, it's your cousin, it's your friend, always seek proper clarification of where that money is coming from and what grounds that money would be used. And once that money is in and you're starting your operations in it, then what is the cycle of that money going back?
Correct.
So इसकी proper knowledge अगर आपको नहीं है, you are partner one day, you can be nobody next day.
So here again, two learning. One is to understand the sources of funds, and if
Yes.
that money is on loan, you need to understand the rate of interest onto it, because that is the costly part. Correct.
Yes,
That is
and
the costly
urgency to
venture.
start-
If
Yes.
that would have been a business loan, the rate of interest would have been bit lesser as compared to the personal loan, which is much way higher. So that is
Exactly.
also important, that you should understand your funds coming from and choose the method correctly. And secondly, the utilization of funds you rightly mentioned is equally
Yes.
important. I can clearly see all the three ventures which you started were good on few parts, but there was something lacking. So if I talk about the business as an overall sense, you were doing great, but the thing which were lacking somewhere was related to the understanding of market, or maybe the understanding of funds flow, or maybe the gap in this funds flow. That was the major reasons.
I guess only these three were the major reasons.
Right. So coming back to another one, like you did all these mistakes and you realized that these were the problem areas. Now you are starting your own venture again, new venture, that is in cloud
Yes.
kitchen. So how you gonna implement all these things step by step, so that this time you can make it a wonderful, successful business?
So one thing that I've done here is I started off from the first outlet. So मैंने वहाँ की चीजें implement करनी शुरू करी. सबसे पहले तो आप market कैसे करोगे? So you have Swiggy and Zomato. Then you have Dot Pay if you want an integration of your own direct websites. You don't want to give any commissions, and you have Magic Pen. So you can integrate with all of these platforms, but one at a time. When obviously with the right time. So obviously, if somebody wants to get into cloud kitchen business or a food business, if you have a normal food business where you have a shop, a market, physical presence, then you may or you may not opt with Swiggy and Zomato is your choice if you're getting good offline sales. But if you're not getting good offline sales, but you have some opportunity on Swiggy and Zomato, then please go for it. These platforms might charge you heavily on their commissions, but yes, they give you that visibility. They give you that visibility throughout the section of the people who have these days, because food industry has completely changed after 2014, since Food Panda, Zomato, and all of these companies came in, and
Correct.
it again after Swiggy started delivering the food right at doorstep. So and then Zomato had to come into the picture, and they also started delivering. So food business in India, especially in metro cities, has completely changed. So I had an option कि मेरे पास खाली जगह है. So I'm totally as of now I'm going paying no rent. Second, because if I see rent amount, it would not be less than 50,000 to any bracket. Like ये bracket कहीं से कहीं भी हो सकता है. If I need a proper dining space, it could go up to 2 lakhs as well a month. Without dining space, 50,000 तो कहीं नहीं गए. फिर वो market अच्छी हो, बुरी हो, footfall सस्ता वाला हो, महंगा वाला हो, कैसा भी हो. So I'm saving on that money. Second, my processes are very standardized now. I don't play with my recipe every now and then, which I used to do earlier. So that keeps me away from regular losses every now and then. Talking about the bigger picture, which I missed in Purple Plate, about how finances would turn every month. So that has been taken care now. So what is happening is the amount of sales which happens from the outlet takes care of the salaries as well as the raw material which is coming in, plus saves a little bit for me as well, which I invest back into the market, which obviously gets, जिसको बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, एक होता है इंटरेस्ट, एक होता है कंपाउंडिंग इंटरेस्ट.
Correct.
So वो होता रहता है. So whichever money is a part of profit. जैसे कि पहले महीने कुछ भी नहीं था, it was barely 1200 रुपए. Second month it was 18,000 rupees. Third month it was close to 36,000 rupees. So all of this money which comes every month is going back into the market and getting reinvested, and that is which is fueling my vision to have now multiple outlets and multiple brands running from the same kitchen.
Right.
Third thing, the funds कैसे हो, क्या वो लोन का फंड है, क्या वो आपका फंड है, वो क्या है, और उसके रूल्स क्या होंगे. सो इसके अंदर एक और चीज मैंने ऐड कर दी कि बिजनेस का पैसा बिजनेस का पैसा है, मेरा पैसा मेरा पैसा है. सो मेरा पैसा वो है जो मेरे पास हर महीने एक सैलरी की फॉर्म में आता है, और बिजनेस का पैसा है जो बिजनेस से आ रहा है, जो बिजनेस में लग रहा है या फिर मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट हो रहा है और फिर वो वापस बिजनेस के लिए तैयार हो रहा है. पहले तो ये भी होता था कि हाँ ठीक है, आज अच्छा बिजनेस हो गया, सेल अच्छी हो गई, चलो अभी हम एक काम करेंगे, जाके हम जारा के कपड़े खरीदेंगे, ये शूज खरीदेंगे, वो करेंगे वो करेंगे, जाएंगे. इस बार ये भी है नहीं कि वो वाली जाएंगे जहाँ पे 500 का टिकट होता है और वहां पे पॉपकॉर्न और कोक भी आएगा, सब कुछ होगा. सो वो करना बंद कर दिया है. माई मनी इज माई मनी. मुझे उसके अंदर जो करना है मैं वो कर सकता हूँ, वहां पे मेरी लिमिट्स बनी हुई है. बिजनेस मनी इज बिजनेस मनी. बिजनेस का जो मनी है वो उसी के अंदर लगेगा या उसी में रीइन्वेस्ट होगा और उसका पैसा उसी के पास रहेगा. प्लस मेंटेनिंग योर बुक्स एट ए लेवल जो पहले पॉसिबल नहीं था, जो अब होता है बिकॉज ऑफ दीज एप्स एंड दीज शीट्स विच आर अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन. अगर किसी को मेरी तरह ऐप का खर्चा नहीं करना है, which is like 15,000 rupees a year, उसकी जो सब्सक्रिप्शन होती है वो नहीं लेनी है, सो वो लोग को टैली शीट्स मिल जाती है ऑनलाइन. They can get those sheets for free and they can fill in details of their inventory, and they would have at the end of the year a calculated sum that कि आपने कितना लगाया, कितना लगा, हर एक डिश की कितनी कॉस्ट है, हर एक डिश का लैंडिंग प्राइस और मेकिंग प्राइस प्लस कमीशन हटाने के बाद आपके पास क्या बचता है. एंड दिस वे व्हेन यू गो टू अ इन्वेस्टर with a clear picture on numbers, so that is one thing that they would look for.
Correct.
They would in today's day and age, if you're looking to start a business, you have to scale it up, and to scale it up you need people to invest in, and people would only invest in if they can see clean sheets, if they can see clean balance sheets.
True.
आप लॉस कर रहे हो, प्रॉफिट कर रहे हो, सब अलग बात है, बट अगर वो क्लीन नहीं है, उसके अंदर मेस है, तो nobody
Nobody
will
is interested.
Yes.
Correct. You rightly pointed out mistakes is one part, but learning from them is really important. And the way you try to implement all the things here in this business, definitely it will make a better business this time, and it will lead to a success. I can see from your discussion, whatever you have just shared is really an interesting one, because now you have followed all the basic principles of the business. You have made your finances correct. You have made your accounting correct. Processes also you have put in for food, that again will lead to lesser cost in terms of preparing them, and also lesser wastages in terms of wastage part is also there in food business, so there would be lesser wastage.
as well as spillage दोनों को टेक केयर कर लिया है स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन करते ही
Correct. And
क्योंकि
also
पहले
for
क्या
your team, it will be
है तो
easy for them to follow the same process again. So they would not be requiring to upgrade themselves about each dish or each process again and again.
so
So that will ease
so
out on that part also.
exactly. So I can say if I have to launch a new dish, वो एक दिन में हो सकती है launch,
Correct.
but I would rather take a week to launch it.
To make
उसका standardization.
process standardized. So that's really wonderful. So coming back to you again, if I talk about you, are you an introvert or an extrovert kind of a person when you meet people? And what is the plus or minus of the same is?
I would call myself an introvert. I only become extrovert when I wear my hat of a performer or when I wear a hat of a salesman. Otherwise, I'm a really introvert guy. I barely meet people, and actually speaking, technically speaking, I barely have time. So managing a job and then working for your kitchen and weekends पे बच्चे और ये सब, so I barely have time for all of these things. But yes, in general, I am an introvert, and that has helped me keep my opinion to myself. Which should be with people passing, extroverts usually, I have seen that extroverts usually talk very, they get into loose talks, they can pass comments, they can pass judgments very easily. So you must have, seen or heard that it's easy to, comment or pass a judgment, but it's very difficult to walk into somebody's shoes or even for a mile. So that's what it has helped me to be as an introvert, to not get into loose talks, to not get into discussions which might come back and bite you again.
Correct. That is also an important one. And if I talk about the kind of support you got in your journey, who were the people supported you the most?
A few friends who are still with me, so they've always been there for me. I guess I might have done something good in my past life, so I'm blessed to have those friends, and obviously my father, who has been my biggest supporter. I guess. This conditioning of one's brain and attitude and personality is done while you're growing up. So my father never, imposed anything on me in terms of career choices. And whenever I failed, he never gave me, or reprimanded me for it, for being bad at it. And he's a very thorough follower of Vipassana. So Vipassana is a meditation practice. So he's been doing it for like good 30 years now. So his thoughts are very different from other people, and his insight about everything is very selective. And yeah, so I guess my father. And after I got married, I luckily got a wife which is not only loving, caring, but supportive. So I guess all of these people in my life, and then my own thing in me had made make me do this again and again and again. This thing which people say in Vipassana, sab anitya hai. Like everything has an end and nothing is permanent. So yeah, so even this moment of failure is, or whether the moment of success comes, both would not be permanent. What is permanent is us, or I can say not even us. What is permanent is the way we see this world. So make that the best version that you can possibly do.
Right.
So once you do that, then things would follow. फिर आप किसी भी मुसीबत में हो या फिर आप किसी भी कंडीशन में हो, you will come up definitely if your way of looking at the world is filled with gratitude, and you see that things जो भी है time वो चला ही जाएगा. Time flies. Time doesn't
Correct.
stays for anyone.
Correct. That is a wonderful way of looking at things. So, if I talk about motivation and inspiration in life, how you get your motivation and inspiration from?
अरे सुबह उठ के बच्चों के चेहरे देख लेता हूँ, एकदम फूल खिल रहे होते हैं, बस एकदम मोटिवेशन आ जाता है. यानी कि अब तो लाइक जैसे हर चीज परमानेंट नहीं होती. पहले कुछ और मोटिवेशन था. पहले मोटिवेशन था कि पैसे के पीछे भागना है. पहले मोटिवेशन था कि ये ऑफिस होगा, ये होगा, लोग जानेंगे, फेम होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. अब सिर्फ बच्चों के चेहरे देखता हूँ, उसी मोटिवेशन मिल जाता है.
Correct.
देयर यू कैन से जो बाहर का जिसमें कोई इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं है ना, वो इनोसेंस और वो स्माइल जब वो देखता हूँ मैं, तो सब दूर हो जाता है.
True. Our motivation keeps on changing time to time. So that is also a fact. So वो भी एक important aspect है life का. Now, if I talk about your take on success, how does it look like to you?
See, if I talk about success, so success in term अभी outlet बहुत fresh है. So in term it's very new to talk about success. It's very early to talk about success. Anything can go anyway. But as long as my plans are made, as long as my plans are in picture, as long as they are being executed, so I see nothing going that vary of its course. But yes, we will come across uncertainties which we never thought of, and we will tackle them with best of our ability, with best of our capability. And I will see to it that in terms of the people who work for me, the people who work for me, they are not working in a very big company. They're not working in a company which is huge in terms of finances. But the little that I can do from my side, like there was a guy who in the month of mid-December came across that he has like he was experiencing stomach ache, and it was getting very common. Every week he would complain me about it. So I took him with me, got it diagnosed. It came out that उसको appendicitis है. So उसको ऑपरेट कराना, उसका ध्यान रखना, एंड उसको एक अश्योरेंस देना कि अगर तू मेरे साथ है तो मैं तेरे साथ हूँ. सो दैट वाज ऑल अबाउट इट. एंड टिल दैट टाइम आई वाज स्ट्रगलिंग टू फाइंड गुड पीपल टू वर्क फॉर मी. Now I have every second day a door bell ringing कि सर आपके यहाँ पे काम है क्या, आपके यहाँ पे काम है क्या, आपके यहाँ पे काम है क्या. Because that thing spread like wildfire entire his community, that लोग सैलरी देने के बाद पूछते भी नहीं है. ये बंदा तुम्हें जाके तुम्हारा ऑपरेट करा के तुम्हें घर पे रेस्ट दिला के 1-1.5 महीना तुम्हारा पूरा ध्यान रख रहा है, एंड इज मेकिंग श्योर कि वो पैसे कम ना पड़े, हर महीने सैलरी बिना काम करे भी आती रहे. सो आई गेस ये मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ. जब पैंडेमिक में हम लोगों की होटल्स बंद हो गए थे, सो दीज बिग होटल्स जहाँ पे हम 12 करोड़ 18 करोड़ का बजट सिंगल हैंडेडली हम करके देते हैं. बिकॉज होटल्स these 5-star hotels work on a budget scale of 150 crores 200 crores every year. So उसमें जो 10-12 सेल्स के लोग होते हैं, they are like each of them is like given a number कि आपको 18 करोड़ करना है, आपको इतना करना है, आपको इतना करना है, आपको इतना करना है. So वो सब करने के बाद भी they couldn't even pay us for a month after the month of March when the lockdown happened. So that was the point I left my कि ये स्टेबल नहीं है. ये तो सिर्फ एक कोविड आया है जिसके बारे में हमें मालूम है कि ठीक हो ही जाएगा. बट ये लाइफ मुझे नहीं चाहिए अगर इसमें इतनी भी सेफ्टी नहीं है, इतनी भी सिक्योरिटी नहीं है. सो वो सेफ्टी और सिक्योरिटी मैं अपने एम्प्लॉयज को देते हुए अपनी सक्सेस को ये देखना चाहता हूँ कि मेरी कंपनी भले ही 1000 करोड़ की कंपनी ना बने, भले ही यूनिकॉर्न ना बने, बट एटलीस्ट ये वो कंपनी होगी वेर इन पीपल वुड फील प्राउड टू वर्क एट, वेर इन पीपल वुड फील सिक्योर टू वर्क एट, वेर इन पीपल वुड इवन वॉन्ट दैट तुम इधर उधर क्यों काम करते हो, तुम यहीं आके काम करो. सो दैट वुड बी माई सक्सेस. बिकॉज एट द टाइम एंड एज आई एम एट, मेरा वो गाड़ियों का शौक, मेरा वो सब शौक तो जा चुका है. अब तो गाड़ी मतलब एक इज अ मेयर कमोडिटी टू गो फ्रॉम पॉइंट ए टू बी. उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है मेरे लिए. मैं चाहे ऑल्टो में चलूं, चाहे बलेनो में चलूं, चाहे सेल्टॉस में चलूं, गाड़ी तो जो मेरे को खड़ी मिलती है मैं वही लेके चला जाता हूँ. आई डोंट मेक चॉइसेस कि मेरे को इसी गाड़ी में जाना है. तो गाड़ी मेरे लिए ये सारे शौक अब बहुत कम हो गए हैं, खत्म हो गए हैं. तो और कोई वो नहीं है. सक्सेस अब मेरे लिए यही रह गई है कि ये कंपनी which is loved by the people for what we are doing, and to be a company which is loved by the people who are working for that company.
Great.
So this is a reflection from companies like Tata's, who, apart from doing a marvelous work in their field, they also take care of their employees like their families. इंडिया में बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं, इंडिया में मल्टीनेशनल्स भी हैं, इंडिया में इंडिया ग्रोन मल्टीनेशनल्स भी हैं जो बाहर काम कर रहे हैं, और इंडिया में वो मल्टीनेशनल्स भी हैं जो बाहर के और इंडिया में काम कर रहे हैं. बट बेयरली यू कम अक्रॉस अ कंपनी लाइक टाटा. हर किसी का प्रॉफिट ओरिएंटेशन और उसका उनका जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, बैलेंस शीट जब तक ठीक है तब तक सब कुछ ठीक है. कुछ भी पॉइंट ए से इधर उधर हल्का बहुत हिला, वो लोग वहीं पे. अभी आई गेस इट्स वेरी कॉमन दी डेज, पीपल आर बीइंग गेटिंग लेड ऑफ फ्रॉम देयर जॉब्स. स्विगी जस्ट लेड ऑफ क्लोज टू 6,000 एम्प्लॉइज.
Right.
अगेन एक और कंपनी थी, उन्होंने भी बहुत सारे एम्प्लॉइज को निकाला है. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस इज हैपनिंग, एंड आई गेस दिस वाज अनदर बलून which had to pop. People were being hired at यानी कि किसी का 15 लाख का पैकेज है, आप उसको नई कंपनी में 45 लाख का पैकेज दे रहे हो. किसी का 20 लाख का पैकेज है, आप उसको 50 लाख पे ले रहे हो. एंड पीपल वर यानी कि गेटिंग पीपल फ्रॉम लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर एट एनी कॉस्ट टू वर्क फ्रॉम देम. कि हाँ, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली इफ अ मार्केट इज ग्रोइंग 100x, any market, any country, you cannot produce people with that talent and experience at 100x pace. At that point of time, you will, get poaching from other companies, and this is the cost they have to pay. But when this cost doesn't align with their outcome and their productivity and their profitability, what they have to do is what they're doing right now. They're laying off people left, right, center, and they're laying off people which are not hired at that price, which are not hired at. They're laying the people at the base level. They're laying the people which are being affected the most. So that is what I don't want to become. Even if I want to, if I have my dreams high, if I have my dreams in place, I don't want to become a company जो कि पहले एक जगह पहुंच जाए और फिर उसके बाद उन लोगों को निकालती फिर रही हो जो लोग सबसे नीचे के लेवल के हैं, जो सबसे ज्यादा अफेक्ट होते हैं. I want to be a company wherein अगर कोई झाड़ू लगाने वाला भी है तो he is like secured and safe in his
Correct.
company, and yes,
So,
like
last.
अभी जो लोग फैमिली है तो ये है, और ये फैमिली चलेगी, लंबी चलेगी, और ये लोग भी कहीं और नहीं जाना चाहते. मैं भी किसी और के साथ काम नहीं करना चाहता. हाँ, और लोगों को जरूर लाना चाहता हूँ, और लोगों को ला के उनको भी फैमिली का हिस्सा बनाना चाहता हूँ, और वो चलता रहेगा प्रोसेस. वो एक लंबा प्रोसेस है, वो
Right.
चलता रहेगा.
That is really wonderful. So, at the end, any message or advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
जैसे मैंने पहले बोला, आप अपना ध्यान रखो, अपनी सेहत का ध्यान रखो. जो भी आपके सपने हैं वो देखते रहो, और सपने जैसे भी आप देखते हो, जस्ट ट्राई टू स्ट्राइक सम बैलेंस. वो है कुछ कोट्स जो लोगों को बोल देती हैं और लोग अपनी टी शर्ट पे लिख के चल देते हैं कि इधर गो बिग और गो होम. ऐसा नहीं होता है. इफ यू कांट मेक इट बिग, ट्राई अगेन. मे बी दिस टाइम यू विल मेक इट बिग. गोइंग होम तो ऑप्शन है ही हमेशा, वो तो चले ही.
करेक्ट. और जरूरी नहीं है ना कि आपका गोल जो है वो हमेशा आप वही चीज जो सोच रहे हो वही हो. कुछ और भी हो सकता है, कुछ आपके थॉट्स अलग हो सकते हैं, पैशंस भी चेंज हो सकते हैं. मतलब देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स पीपल कैन चेंज फ्रॉम A to B or B to C. The only thing which keeps you moving is what you balance yourself in all those situations, and
Correct.
how you take things in a right perspective. That is also important. Failure could be one, failure could be two, but if you keep on trying and you are persistent with your effort, definitely you would get into a point where you would find all the things in place and you would succeed. This is,
I guess the thing which people should strive for is a good mindset.
true.
A guy a guy when he walks fresh out of college, after getting a degree, when he is 23, 24 years old, उसका तब सपना होता है कि उसके पास गाड़ी आ जाए. गाड़ी आने के बाद सपना होता है शादी हो जाए, फिर बच्चे हो जाए, फिर उसके बाद अब मैं ये कर लूं, अब मैं वो कर लूं, मैं घर खरीद लूं, अब मैं ये बना. So priorities will keep changing, but mindset, if made for once, will last forever.
Correct.
So माइंड अच्छा रखो, माइंडसेट अपना लेके चलो लंबे समय के लिए. जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि आई गेस हमारे जब हम छोटे थे तब वनडे क्रिकेट स्टार्ट हुआ था, उससे पहले तो टेस्ट क्रिकेट ही होता था. सो पीपल हैव डन राइट थिंग्स एट द राइट टाइम. इट्स ओनली द जनरेशन विच इज कमिंग अप इज मेकिंग थिंग्स विच कैन बी विच कैन गिव देम एड्रेनलिन रश. एक दिन में, आधे दिन में, एक घंटे में, और कुछ नहीं तो लोग पार्टी कर लेते हैं रात को बहुत ज्यादा।
Correct.
वो माइंडसेट थोड़ा कम करना चाहिए लोगों को। अपनी तरफ
Correct.
देखो। आपके पास दिन में कुछ ही घंटे हैं, उनका आप बेस्ट पॉसिबल इस्तेमाल करो। अपने आप को आप अच्छा, यानी कि लोगों के साथ रखो। आप अच्छा खाओ, अच्छा सो, अच्छा सोचो।
Right.
हो सके तो थोड़ी हेल्प करो, एंड यू विल बी इन दैट माइंडसेट। यू विल कैसे भी मदद कर दो, कि एक फोन कॉल भी आपकी किसी की मदद कर सकता है। इट्स
True.
नॉट ऑलवेज फाइनेंशियल। तो
True.
just have that mindset of helping people, and doing spending your 24 hours in a good way, and you would not be in a complaining mindset. You would not be in a zone wherein you keep complaining. I see a lot of people who complain and cry about where they're doing and what they're working at. वो आप रोते रहोगे। आप अभी इस बिल्डिंग में रो रहे हो, आप दूसरी बिल्डिंग में जाओगे, वहां भी रोते रहोगे। इट्स ओनली द बिल्डिंग विच इज चेंजिंग, बट योर
Correct.
mindset is not. If you have to cry, you will keep crying. So I have seen days wherein it was only 35 rupees which was left in my bank account. So अगर वो दिन था और आज का दिन है, अगर मेरे लिए चेंज हो सकता है, किसी के लिए भी चेंज हो सकता है। मैंने,
Definitely.
ये तो बहुत सारे लोग हैं,
Yes.
तो
इम्पोर्टेंट वही है
ये।
कि आप उस सिचुएशन में डिसीजन क्या लेते हो, मूव ऑन करने का या मूव बैक करने का। दो ही रास्ते हैं, या तो
ये
मूव ऑन करो या मूव बैक करो। सो रियली
हाँ,
इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, एंड आई मस्ट से द थिंग्स यू हैव शेयर्ड टुडे वाज रियली अमेजिंग, एंड आई रियली एंजॉयड आवर कन्वर्सेशन। लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू हियर मोर फ्रॉम यू अगेन सून। थैंक यू सो वेरी मच अजय, इट वाज वंडरफुल हैविंग यू हियर टुडे।
थैंक यू जितेंद्र जी, थैंक यू, थैंक यू, एंड आई एम रियली सॉरी। अब शायद आपको पता चल गया होगा क्यों वो ये बार बार रीशेड्यूल हो रहा था, बार बार हम नहीं कर पा रहे थे, क्योंकि मेरी लाइफ ही ऐसे ये सर्कल में घूम रही होती है।
No, no,
तो
I can understand. And also, since
बट
you've been supporting businesses for starting up their own restaurant business, so I'll share your link with these interviews so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance also. And definitely, I would also look forward to your help because I also have certain things in my mind for future, not now, but for future. Definitely would work.
डेफिनेटली।
So thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you and bye bye.